Hey guys, we finally made it to the end of this class and the semester, a very stressful semester, and I just wanted to take a few minutes to reflect upon what this class meant to me and what I learned and what I've changed about myself in the course of this semester and going forward. And I also wanted to highlight some of my favorite moments of the semester that I haven't included in any of my past videos that I'm going to include now. Now, this is my Carolina barbecue sauce that I made for my first presentation, and it is so good. I still have it in my fridge. I've actually been using it on and off throughout the semester, and it is just so delicious. Now, this is me cutting into ribs that I made in the middle of the semester. Of course, I was inspired by this class, and I was also preparing for our upcoming cook-off. But I took a lot of the things I had learned about barbecue, and I applied them to how I cook this. Obviously, I didn't have a smoker, so I had to cook them in the oven, but I cooked them low and slow, and they turned out really delicious. Now, this was my first time ever cooking ribs, and I don't want to say I was surprised at how they turned out, but they were immaculately juicy and tender, and me and my roommates ate them all that night. There was 3 of us, and I really want to cook ribs again. I have to do that. Now, those ribs were made in preparation for this cook-off, and as you can see, Smokers Anonymous here in this picture, the real winners, the best team, and we prepared amazing food that day. It was an amazing time, and I just wanted to show you guys some highlights from the day. Now, to start, this is the moment that I realized that they had gotten me 2 different kinds of ribs. I was not able to go to H-E-B, so I was very confused when I saw this. But it all worked out, and I just had to do a little bit of trimming, and nobody even knew the difference, and it all turned out delicious.
Should be good. What do you think?
Do more.
Okay.
Do more.
Mom,
Now here we can see Arturo seasoning his Brussels sprouts quite heavily with brown sugar. They turned out absolutely delicious, one of my favorite dishes of the day. In the background of our smoker, you can also see the ribs smoking, along with our pot of red beans and rice, which Brianna made. That day was full of good memories, but I think my favorite part was being able to talk to the Sam Houston alumni that had brought the smokers and just what they had to say and the pointers they gave me. For instance, even though my ribs did win best protein, he did let me know that I should have smoked them without the foil on for a while before I wrapped them. Now, the reason I wrapped them the whole time was because that's how I cooked it before, and I didn't even think about how it would cook differently on a smoker. But that's just a perfect example of how their input was vital in what I learned this semester. Now, this was the final plating for our barbecue plate. It included the ribs, of course, the mac and cheese, the Brussels sprouts, the red beans and rice, and our pickles, onions, and bread. And, of course, our famous barbecue sauce, which is coming into frame now. And so thank you to all my teammates and classmates for making it a great day. And thank you to Professor Dempson for making us all winners. I kind of wanted to talk about how I've grown from this class and some of the things that have changed from what I think about. And one of those things is just eating more barbecue. Before this semester started, I didn't eat much barbecue, and I didn't really like barbecue sauce at all. But now whenever I'm traveling or I'm just trying to find a place to eat, barbecue is almost always the first place I think about. Now, this is actually a plate from Wall's Barbecue. My parents had come into town for something that weekend, and I, of course, suggested we should go try some barbecue. And Wall's Barbecue has the best brisket that I've ever had. Maybe they were just having a really good day, but it was so good, and their jalapeno sausage was also delicious. And it was just really cool to talk to the people that worked there and taste their food. Another perfect example of how I'm noticing barbecue more now and the places to get it is Buc-ee's. I drive by Buc-ee's every time I drive home, and I had never even thought about getting food there, just using their restrooms. But this time I tried their sliced brisket sandwich, and it was so delicious. And I'm so happy that I took this class just because now I know that I can get a sandwich anytime I'm driving by Buc-ee's. How barbecue is a pushback from societal norms when it comes to eating. And I do believe that is true. I also believe that it's really cool how it can take a modern twist and people can still be innovating with it every day. With new restaurants people are opening, but they're still holding on to the cultural norms that started it while innovating. And I think that's very apparent with what we've discovered this semester. And I think that it really can be inspiring for people to get into this craft that is ancient, essentially, but still put a modern twist on it. Now, opening a restaurant's always been a dream of mine, and after this semester, I do feel confident if I do open one, it could most definitely be a barbecue restaurant. But if nothing else, this semester has inspired me to want to buy a smoker one day. I realized that living in an apartment around here, the equipment we have around us is not adequate for smoking meats, and as soon as I get a job and have some money, I would love to buy a smoker. I kind of wanted to read off of my original knowledge of barbecue from the beginning of the semester. It says, my relationship with barbecue is surprisingly limited in the sense of my knowledge of the history of it. I do not know much about where ingredients or styles originated or what some of the essential ingredients are in something to make it authentic barbecue. As someone who's from San Antonio, barbecue is a common food item to be eaten in my house or to go out and get, so it's surprising that my knowledge can be so limited. I'm hoping by the end of this semester I will be able to use my gained knowledge and experiences to improve the ways I cook barbecue and combine ingredients, as well as become more informed on different kinds of barbecue and the history of barbecue and its significance. I am happy to say, looking back, that I did learn a lot about each one of those things I was talking about. I am happy that I got out of this class something that I couldn't really get out of any other class. It wasn't as academic based as others, but you really learn a lot about the people in regions and how food can have such an impact on a society and other aspects which really are unique to this class and that I would love to see moving forward in other classes. And thank you to everyone that went on this journey with me and us. Hope we all learned something, and thanks again to Smokers Anonymous, best team, and to Professor Dolshall and Dempson for making this class possible. Go out and cook some barbecue, guys.
After the best of class.
Yeah, exactly. You guys done? Okay.